Let's welcome in New York Congresswoman Nicole Malliotakis. Good morning, Congresswoman. Great to see you. So we are just 3 days removed from the second assassination attempt on President Trump, and we're expecting beefed up security tonight. DHS Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas finally saying yesterday that he will get the security he needs. But why did it take 2 assassination attempts to give him proper protection? And to your knowledge, what will security look like tonight in New York?
Well, look, I think that the Democrats have tried to brush this under the rug. I mean, they've tried to act as if nothing happened. You didn't see as much media coverage after that first assassination, right? And that is really troublesome because there's no greater threat to our democracy than trying to assassinate the opposition candidate in an election just 2 months before people go and vote. And so this is extremely concerning. We are demanding that he gets equal protection, equal Secret Service than the sitting president, as the sitting president, because this is a former president, but he may very well, and hopefully will be, the next president as well. And again, no greater threat than attempting to kill an opposition candidate a couple of months before the elections. What you see in Mexico, Ecuador, countries that are socialist or communist nations, it should never happen here in the United States, and we have to make sure that he is protected.
Yeah, and many are saying that it's the Democrats' rhetoric that inspired another attempt on Donald Trump's life. They've called him a threat to democracy. They've called him Hitler over the past few years. White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre, once again, though, after all of this, after 2 assassination attempts, echoing that rhetoric. Take a listen.
Just to clarify, so you're saying that the president and vice president believe that former President Donald Trump should be toning down his rhetoric?
So I'll say this. President Biden has been clear-eyed about the threat that the former president represents to our democracy. He's been clear-eyed about that.
Unbelievable. We have 48 days to go until the election. How concerned are you that with this continued talk from Democrats that Trump is a threat, Trump is Hitler, that we could, God forbid, see a 3rd assassination attempt?
Look, it's obviously very concerning, and that is why Congress is putting as much pressure as we can on these agencies to ensure that they're providing him with the protection he deserves. We cannot have a situation like this in the United States of America. It is just unconscionable that we are sitting here and that they continue to spew this hateful rhetoric, these lies. Look, they falsely prosecuted this man. They've done everything they can to try to disparage him professionally, personally, financially. They've done everything they can to destroy him, and he's still standing. And that is the type of leader that America needs right now. Someone who is going to lead peace through strength, someone who is unafraid, someone that is committed to this country. It is really important right now that Americans rally behind President Trump and that we all demand collectively, Americans demand that our presidential candidate is safe. That is what this is all about. And making sure that he is safe. And I think, and going back to New York, I think that you're going to see a lot of security today. And, you know, the police officers in New York love President Trump. He received major endorsements all across the board. They are going to be there to protect him today. I have full confidence in that. But it's beyond that. We need to make sure that Secret Service is doing their job, making sure that they are screening these facilities that he's going in, the golf course. How did this person, by the way, know that he was going to be golfing that day?
It's a great question.
How did he get access to a weapon like that? These are all questions that we have, and we demand answers.
Yeah, I do want to focus on New York. You brought it up. So Trump posting on True Social yesterday, we have a real chance of winning for the first time in many decades in New York. Hundreds of thousands of migrants, crime at record levels, terrorists pouring in, inflation eating your hearts out. Congresswoman, is New York in play for Donald Trump?
Well, look, I don't know how anybody in New York can continue to vote for this disastrous Harris-Biden policies. It has been crippling to New York. The amount of crime that has taken place because of illegal immigrants that they have pushed into our city. We had a 13-year-old girl raped, a woman raped under the border in Brooklyn, another one in Manhattan. And you know what? Cops are being shot at by illegal immigrants. They've been assaulted. How can anyone continue to support another 4 years of this? While Americans are struggling, living paycheck to paycheck, trying to put food on the table, the Democrats are forcing New Yorkers and Americans to house illegal immigrants in luxury hotel rooms. And they're increasing their taxes. And I'm glad to see President Trump talk about a number of policies affecting New York, from congestion pricing that he will stop dead in its tracks, to restoring some of the SALT deduction, to increasing the threshold that is not going to be taxable for senior citizens, because that has not been changed in 4 decades and they are living paycheck to paycheck. He puts Americans first. He gave the working and middle class across the board tax cut. He doubled the child tax credit. He is the person that we need, not somebody who's going to continue to take from American citizens, as Kamala Harris and the Democrats have, to give to people who are in this country illegally.
Congressman Malliotakis, thank you so much for waking up early and joining me this morning. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
And as we just mentioned, President